Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
People are like tea bags. You have to put them in hot water before you know how strong they are. That is true. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America, followed by a patriot. With our Pledge of Allegiance, come on, give me a call. Give me a call. And a good morning to you. I'm Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch, and we're off and running on this Wednesday morning, October 25th. I want to say thank you to our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, with a great big fall tire sale going on right now. And also, thanks to some of our great advertisers like Western Way Services, always at your disposal. Call them, get on the route service, get rid of your garbage, 734-6969. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jerry, God bless you. Good job, my friend. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you.
You have a wonderful day, and may the Lord bless you and all your audience out in radio.
Thank you very much. Very kind. Very kind. Thank you very much. And right now, let's go to the weather. And the weather brought to you by K&R Rental. Roger and the boys and the girls, good morning. 256 South, 300 west of Hayburn. Number to call, 678-3122. That number again, 678-3122. They open the doors early in the morning, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Always there to help you with the best of tools and equipment at K&R Rental. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Today is going to be a wonderful day. Tomorrow, a little bit breezy, but for the rest of the weekend on into the weekend, very warm, I'm going to say. Here's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Sunny skies, high of 68 is what we're looking at for today. Tonight, clear skies, low of 48. For tomorrow, winds are going to be picking up out of the west, just about 10 miles an hour, so it's just going to be slightly breezy, high of 58, overnight low of 32. For Friday, sunny skies, high of 60 with an overnight low of 34. For Saturday, sunny and 64. That is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. Appreciate it. K&R Rental, they offer tools and equipment, the latest and greatest tools and equipment to ensure that you can get your job done quickly and precisely. Talk to the best. Get the best from K&R Rental. 256 South, 300 west of Hayburn. Number to call, 678-3122. Oh, my, good morning. Wheels, get on your microphone real quick. Are you there?
I am, sir.
You're wearing your headsets.
I am.
I want you to know that you are only one step closer to getting a free dinner because you lucked out and won that game last night. The Dodgers beat the Astros 3-1.
Well,
Don't elaborate, don't brag, whatever, because you may lose the next 4 straight, I hope.
Well, I guess we'll just kind of see what happens, you know. I mean, I don't watch baseball very much, but let me just say, when I do, watch out.
Yeah, watch out. All right, buddy. You're one game up on me, and that's subject to change. I just wanted to let you know you might, I doubt it, get a free lunch. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, buddy. Hey, Denny's Restaurant. Talking about food. I want to remind you, Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, and also another location in Twin Falls at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin. Breakfast around the clock, and all the menu items are absolutely fantabulous. You're going to love it. Like I said, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, anytime, all the time, with people that really are friendly, people that really care, and Denny's Restaurant, of course, the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. We really have a good time over there, and I urge and encourage you to get over there and enjoy dining for your whole family at America's Diner, Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. Really, really nice people. Ramsey Heating and Electric. Hello, Ramsey's at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 678-0459. They're open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. And when I say this, I mean this, because they've got such a huge inventory over there. All your heating and electrical needs right there, including your furnace filters to make sure your furnace is going to operate efficiently. Now you look outside and you say, well, we don't have to worry about that. It's going to be a beautiful day in the 60s. Well, yeah, it is. But you know it's going to end sometime, so be prepared for the cooler, colder temps at Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. Really, really good people. All right, calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. One of the things I do not worry about on this program, and I think back 18, 19 years when I started the show, a gentleman advised me, oh, you don't want to get people mad. You want to stay in the middle of the road, let the other sides argue. No, I can't do that. I won't do that, and that's not being any kind of a leader with the situations that we have today. Hillary Clinton is the most, when you watch the news, I dare somebody to call me and tell me I'm wrong. Hillary Clinton is the most ego-centered, devious, and manipulating woman ever, I think, in the history of politics. She puts the likes of Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, and others like they're almost still with training wheels on. I've never seen anything as bad as Hillary. Hold on, caller, and we will see the criminal schemes of the Clintons and also Barack Obama come to light, honestly, I think, when the Republicans start demanding the truth about what really happened, and underline these words, what really happened with Russian collusion financed by the DNC and the Clinton Foundation. We're going to find out a lot more about that. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, at last, we have got some heroes in the broadcasting business or reporting and stuff like that. The Hannity show last night featured Hannity and Sarah Carter and John Solomon. I'll tell you what, these people are courageous people, and America needs more of them because they're telling it the way it is.
Well, I think you're right. They do a good job, and they have done a good job, and I hope they continue to do a good job. But I feel in any capacity that we need to hold their feet to the fire so they don't weaken. And you must also realize sometimes there's a lot of arm twisting behind the scenes by the network bosses and or the owners of the various communication companies to tone down or back off on certain stories. And we've seen that happen in the past.
Yes, we have, but I think Hannity is by far the most courageous. Now, I remember, if I'm remembering correctly, you didn't care much for Bill O'Reilly.
No, I did not.
Your thoughts were right on, because he wasn't the guy we thought he was.
Bill O'Reilly is in a lot of trouble, and Bill O'Reilly deservedly deserves, that's two words, the same in a very short sentence, all the trouble that can be heaped upon him. I think his loudmouth, his ego-centered attitude, much the same of Hillary Clinton, his aloofness to thinking that everybody was below him, I think is coming back to haunt him, and I think you're going to see more of his training wheels fall off, and I believe he's going to have a lot more trouble.
Well, and, I like someone like you, Zeb, that is the same today and the same tomorrow. And if I go to your house, you're going to act the same as you do on your radio station. You are the same person all the time. Bill O'Reilly turns out not to be so.
One of the things that was told to me, Keith, and I really appreciate that last remark, I do not try in any way, shape, or form to be a different person in public, different over at the lunch bunch, different at a staff meeting, different at a meeting to get advertising. I'm going to be the same way. And a gentleman told me a long time ago that the only way to be successful is to be a success with the personality that God gave you. A lot of people don't like me. That's fine. I don't like a lot of people. So that makes us all even, and we can continue to do our best in our current situations.
For instance, these Hollywood elites and stuff like that, they're not the same. A good example of that is when I was involved in my dealers association, we had a private showing of Rich Little in Las Vegas, and the afterglow, and that's after, everybody's left and everything, you have a special meeting with him.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I've never met such a disgusting person in my life as Rich Little. I lost every respect for him that I could think of. He is not the same person.
That's really an interesting analogy, because it was funny when you started talking about that. I remember a circumstance where someone else had met that gentleman and had walked away with the same feeling. So evidently, maybe he portrays an image on stage and then a different persona in person.
Yeah, and I never thought much about it till just recently. He was on TV impersonating Nixon and all those, and he's very good at what he does, but his personality is an empty barrel.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Somebody in the barrel with Frederica Wilson. How interesting. Hey, I got to run, buddy. Thanks so much.
You bet.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Calls are welcome. 436-2244. 1-866-927-4587. I'm going to be talking in just a moment about our English language. It's dying right here in America. Hold on just a second. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Oh, these people are so good at helping you get back to being you. That's right. You got the aches and the pains and the stiffness, and you're recouping from a surgery or an accident or whatever. Hey. They've got the best physical therapists, and I mean that, headed up by Nick Greenwell. And then, of course, they've got the only hydrotherapy pool in this area. Oh, that does help. You be sure and give them a call at 678-1191. That number again, 678-1191. I got a cough drop. That's why I got to keep swallowing. 678-1191, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Okay. Oh, by the way, too, I want to say thank you very much to some really nice people, and one in particular, and that's Holly Rowe. Holly has been very instrumental in giving us a lot of information about what's going on over at Pomerell Place, a place for senior living at 1301 Bennett Street in Burley. And coming up tomorrow, Thursday, they're going to be hosting a VA benefit seminar at 5:30, and the public is welcome. But now, I told you earlier in the week that you had to RSVP. I do not know if there's still time to call, but I'm going to tell you that you can call 677-8212. Georgia Greenwell, local Minnecasia veteran service rep, will be speaking there, and I urge you to give her a call at Holly Rowe at Pomerell Place, 677-8212, a place for senior living. Really nice people. Caller, good morning to you.
I would be the first one to tell you this morning that you should not worry about what these people are saying or thinking of you, because that's not your responsibility. You happen to be on the right side. So if you capitulate and try to get all of those suckers who have no respect for you or our country, you're going down the wrong path. But you stay right where you are. Stay the course.
You know, I agree with you, Gary, and I've always done that. There was a time about 8-9 years ago I was really concerned about not only my welfare, my wife's welfare, our family, but also this program I bit my tongue, program's welfare, and I was concerned. And then all of a sudden I met with a very dear friend that told me to get my head up and be proud of what I've done and what I've accomplished, and kind of look in their eye, spit in their eye, and just keep going. And that's the attitude that I've maintained ever since.
Well, you are the mouthpiece for a lot of people, and you happen to get out across the airwaves, and you do speak for a lot of people. And if someone, if all of a sudden there's no voice out there, well, then they can have the run with it. Now, an interesting thing is going on in China, where the leader now is wanting to go back and become more maleist in his dealings with being the leader of China, in that he is the supreme ruler, and can dictate exactly how it's all going to go. Well, that was broken down a few years back, but now he's on the way back to being a strict divine ruler. And like in Spain with Catalonia, what is with the deal with the one world order? If everybody really wants it, why do they want to secede and be separate? Same with Scotland.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The world order isn't going to work. It's just from a select few of people who are domineering, and it's the communist way. McCarthy, you look back and you think that was a really tough, awful thing to do, but I'm telling you, in the 1920s, and how I know this is because I read every Minidoka County newspaper in the 111 years that was printed. In the 20s, the sheriff in Rupert ran the communist guy off his soapbox in the county square. We had a progressive third party that was running for the representatives in Congress in the 20s. And all of these Hollywood types who went to these parties, I'll call them Amway parties, because they didn't know what they were doing. They just went to a party, signed their name, and left, and never gave it another thought, except that their name was on this party that happened to be communist. So McCarthy took care of them. Had McCarthy not stepped in, we would be in a much different situation than we are today.
Amen.
There's the little things in there that we have to be vigilant of, and that you have to keep saying what you're saying, because the other side will run right over you, just like a rabbit in the road with a car.
I agree with you, and I say amen, brother, what you just said, because I'm going to have some segments. All right, buddy. God bless you. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. He's spot on. Spot on. I really appreciate his friendship and his viewpoint, Gary. Thank you very much. Caller, I'm going to ask your indulgence. Wait just a minute. I will be right there. I've got to remind everybody about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. Oh, my goodness, with the Lennox home comfort systems. Yes, sir, Bobby, you might be able to get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox home comfort system. All you need to do to find out more is call Ramsey Heating and Electric at 678-0459. Remember, Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. Absolutely. Hey, by the way, tomorrow night, big doings over at our friends, and I'm getting all the papers here, at Maury's Steakhouse, 219 East 3rd Street in Burley. There's going to be a meet and greet. Yeah, buddy, for Steve Yates running for Lieutenant Governor. It's going to start tomorrow night at 6 p.m. a.m. and go to 8 p.m., and the hosts are my dear friend, former Representative Bert Stevenson, Doug Pickett, and Mark Peterson. This is going to be quite an event, and they urge you to attend. Of course, Steve Yates for Lieutenant Governor. He wants your vote, and he's a man that wants to strengthen education in the state of Idaho and help fix health care. You be sure and attend tomorrow night, and that's the meet and greet for Steve Yates, running for Lieutenant Governor, paid for by Bert Stevenson for Steve Yates for Lieutenant Governor. Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome, sir. Yeah, I've heard this, and it is very true. If you're not making people mad, then you're not standing for something.
That's right.
And when you stand for something, half the people, or the people that agree with you, or the people that say, hey, this guy's got a point, let's look into it, won't be mad at you. But the ones that disagree with you, that are closed-minded and unwilling to look at the facts, will be mad at you.
Well, you know what you're saying, Doug. I've witnessed firsthand many, many times, and I've had a lot of people that didn't have the nerve or the courage, or quite frankly, the four-letter word, the guts, to call in on this program and really, if they had a dislike or a displeasure with something I said, to arbitrate with me on the air. But no. What they'll do is either send me an email after the program or call me after the program on my own personal time away from the show, and that just shows to me the cowardice that people have.
Exactly. If they don't have the fortitude or the guts, like you say, to stand up for what they believe in, then they must not believe in it very well.
This has been so proven by, and you know this because you've been a long-time listener to this show, I have asked upon numerous times to have the Democratic leadership in the state of Idaho come onto this program and discuss their platform. Have I not?
You have.
And when I have called certain individuals, some of which I'm going to be naming again and criticizing again in the not-too-distant months when the election for 18 starts looming on the horizon, some of them have been so rude as to just hang up the phone, which tells me that they're not worthy of becoming a candidate for any office because they will not listen to people.
Exactly. And there's a Republican in the state of Idaho that refuses to come on your show and talk issues with you. And I feel that he's a Republican in a Democrat suit.
And I feel bad about that to the point where, and let's just call it out, I'm not going to shirk from who it is. It's Congressman Mike Simpson. If you aren't aware of what happened, it was about 2-3 years ago, and I was very concerned on the air about the inclusion of the Muslim Brotherhood into the Obama administration, as you probably are aware of the phone call. And this was on the air, and I questioned him about it. He just basically, and I'm going to give a summation and paraphrase, he basically compared me to a McCarthyist and thought that I was I'm lower than I should be in asking that question. And I guess Mike is favor of the inclusion of Muslims. I, in turn, want to find out how come they're being so favored, if you will, and were favored in the Obama administration. And since that call, that conversation, Mike has never called or asked to come back on the show.
And every time I call his office, I will tell him how I feel about something, and then I will also say, he needs to get on with Zeb Bell. And they say, who's that? And I says, Mike Simpson knows who Zeb Bell is.
Yep.
You just write down, get a hold of Zeb Bell, talk to him, and he could talk to most of southern Idaho with his policies and how things are going. And it just falls on deaf ears.
It's really funny because people in Indiana, people in my home state of Wisconsin, people in Texas, people in California have sent me emails that were listening on our internet version on zebbell.com. You can hear it every day. And they have asked me why our own United States Congressman, Mike Simpson, has tried to avoid this program.
Yeah, it's just a second.
Nope.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
It was a fax coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And another thing you was mentioning this morning about Hillary and the DNC saying they paid for that.
Yeah.
There was someone else on this morning that brought up a point that I'm thinking is very, very interesting. Why would Hillary ever admit to something such as that? Is because I think she does not want the probe to go any deeper.
Oh, absolutely. You know, let me say this, Doug. I think that the investigatory means into the uranium deposits in Wyoming and also over in Oregon, and whether some uranium has been shipped out of the country or not through Canada, or if it's laying at a bulk port someplace. This whole thing is so dirty, with the Russian collusion really a story of itself, much more so than Trump and any conversations with any Russian ambassador.
This is very, very true. And who covered it up?
Gee.
Mainstream media.
There you go. And now, I honestly think that we're seeing some chinks in the armor as of last night. I really followed a lot of the different talk shows and a lot of the news that came across the wire this morning. My darling wife, she goes in at 5 o'clock. We start in the office. And she found many, many stories that I've got a stack of right here about the collusion and what's going on behind the scenes. And some of the kind of the shoveling, if you will, of the dirt off of the story that the Democrats, the Clinton Foundation, the Podesta brothers, and yes, even Obama, they, I think, are sweating overtime this morning.
I hope so. I hope so. And one thing that I really hope and pray for is that the FBI and the DOJ start prosecuting criminals. No, none of these Senate investigations. By George, let's indict somebody and let's find out if they're guilty or not.
Well, hold on a second, because you and I share the same thoughts on this. And then I got to do a commercial break. I'm way late. But when you think of the words Department of Justice, boy, automatically I'm seeing the scales even and justice doing its job for fairness and equity of all people in this great country. It ain't like that lately, buddy.
Nope. And what's the last line in the Pledge of Allegiance?
The last line.
And justice for all.
Absolutely. But are we honestly seeing that?
We're not. And we haven't for years. I mean years. We haven't seen it.
I appreciate
it. It is time for the American people to stand up and demand, if you break a law, by George, you pay for it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. That better carry over into the Antifa and the Black Lives Matter, etc. I think a lot of people were offended when I said this about a month ago. I maintain my position. It's high time the cops picked up their billy clubs and used them for the manner that they were made for, because these people are getting out of control.
They are. They really are. Anyway, so God bless, and everybody, let's take care of our senior centers. And Zeb, you better get those commercials in, or they're going to drop you.
Ooh, baby, I guess. Hey, thanks much. Right now, I want to remind everybody, Sophie's Chatterbox at 530 East Street in Rupert, right on the square. Have you been there? What a great place to eat. Oh, and do they have a delicious bakery. And did you know that they've got a lot of the freezer jams, like blackberry, strawberry is my favorite, marionberry, raspberry, and then, of course, they make the homemade bread. It's delicious. Every Monday we give away a dozen cookies to the trivia winner from Sophie's Chatterbox, 530 East Street in Rupert. Oh, by the way, too, I want to say good morning to Dino Septic Service over in Rupert. Hey, I had a call the other day, and a gentleman says, boy, you're 100% right. And I said, what about? And he said, about Dino Septic Service. He said, man, they are really, really good. They're efficient and friendly. Well, that kind of covers up the whole commercial. He just said it all. Yep, septic tanks pumped and backhoe service, water and sewer lines installed, sewer and sink drain lines cleaned. Oh, they do a job we don't want to do. do. No, I don't want to do that. They do a great job. You give them a call in Rupert 436-6526 or in Burley 678-1638. Dino Septic Service. Yeah, buddy, they got that big truck that says smells cargo on the way. Dino Septic Service, the best. All right, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to talk about our language in just a minute. I'm running a little bit behind, so give me a call. I'd like to hear from you. Don't forget Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. Three locations, South Lincoln and Jerome, and Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Oh, Juan and the crew. Juan, the football coach. And you stop in, they've got great deals on Bobcats, whether you want to rent, whether you want to buy. They've got all the shapes and the sizes. I urge you to get in because Barry Equipment and Rental has all the equipment to get the job done right. Absolutely. Nice people, too. At, again, South Lincoln and Jerome, Addison Avenue West in Twin, and right there on Highway 30, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Yep, the best, Barry Equipment and Rental. Your turn. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. We are losing our English language here in the United States. I don't know why we're letting this happen in our country, an English-speaking country. Our language is being diminished, and it's not spoken here every day. No. As a matter of fact, this was a chilling statistic that I heard yesterday. 45%, almost half, of California residents do not speak English or speak it well enough to communicate. 45% of the residents of California. We are losing our language. We are losing our culture. Frosty Woldridge has preached that for years on our program. And the language is being abused by other people coming in here by not even trying to learn it. They are using their languages, and then what makes me just really irritated, we're providing all the services, interpretation, etc., to further and promote their language. What are your thoughts on this? I don't want to walk up to somebody and hear a bunch of blah, 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 blah. This is America. When I was in Spain, I remember I learned as much as I could about Spanish so that I could communicate with a lot of people. We're in America. Caller, I'm going to ask your patience. Wait 1 30-second interlude, and I'll be right with you. Want to remind everybody again about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox Home Comfort Systems. Don't forget, you can check out a Lennox Home Comfort System to stay cozy in your home, and all you have to do is just give Ramsey Heating and Electric a call at 678-0459, and you could possibly save up to a $1,600 rebate. So you check it out today at Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, 678-0459. Caller, good morning, and thank you.
Yes, good morning, Zeb. A country that loses its border loses its country, and politicians have taken advantage of the fact that these people who have poured in there become voters.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is take these people that can't speak language, give whatever they want, put them on welfare, and they're going to vote for a certain party, and over the years they multiply and get stronger and stronger, and before you know it, they're in control of the country.
Yeah,
we've lost our languages.
I don't understand why we're being so amenable to helping them keep their language and their culture. I want them to assimilate, or I don't want them here. I want them to speak the English language, or I don't want them here. If that sounds harsh and it sounds tough, so be it, because this is America. And Frosty Woolridge has stated many, many times that on his many tours of America, he's found it diminishing in value, our English language, and we're paying more cents and more dollars to help perpetrate other languages and cultures, and that's insane.
Well, when my family came from Italy, they all went to night school and learned the language because they knew they were in a foreign country and they had to assimilate.
Yeah.
And they did. But the people that are coming in today figure, well, they're going to multiply and eventually take our country over, and they're not going to have to worry about assimilation.
I think we need to be... I agree with you. We need to be a lot tougher on what's going on in our country. And the stupid left, the people that say, oh, well, you're a white nationalist. You're one of those white supremacists. No, I'm not. I'm proud of this country. I'm proud of our culture. I'm proud of our language, English, and I don't want to see it become subservient to other languages and other cultures right here in America.
Well, right now, we're at a loss as far as our border's going, and Trump wants to do something about it. But our politicians who are being paid by our tax dollars, they're just going after Trump like a dog after a bone.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. After I heard Jeff Flake from Arizona last night, it just infuriated me. Tony, say hello to Mary, give her a great big kiss, and have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you, Zach.
You bet, buddy. Bye. Thank you. Calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. What do you think? Come on. Be honest with me. Are you upset about how our culture and our language is being kind of poo-pooed, pushed off to the side, and even right here in Magic Valley, especially in the Twin Falls area, we have those that are saying, oh, wow, this is such great diversity. Oh, wow, this is great to have different cultures. Oh, wow, this is great to have all these languages. And then, of course, we pay for the interpreters out of our pockets. I'm not in favor of it at all. Are you, honestly? Give me a call. Hey, don't forget the Bennett Boys Auction Service. Going to have a great big sale this Saturday, October 28th, and this is a sale located at Jerome, Idaho, 400 South. You go south on Golf Course Road for 4 miles and then go west 100 yards. Look out, look for the signs, and it's the Colin Maxey Auction. And the Bennett Boys Auction Service putting this one on. They're going to have swathers and tractors and farm equipment. They're going to have horse trailers. They're going to have snowmobiles. They're going to have saddles and all kinds of antiques, lawn and garden items, all of this put on by Joe Bennett and the Bennett Boys. Auction service, no sale too big, no sale too small. For the Bennett Boys, they do them all. You give Joe a call at 539-0111. Good people. By the way, too, don't forget on Thursday, we've got the Denny's football trivia contest. You can win a free Grand Slam breakfast, so be sure and be listening at about 9:18 on Thursday tomorrow morning, okay? Got you covered. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, let me tell you, I know you know this, but maybe some others don't, that California has been ran by Democrats for so long that it's not only, I don't know what their depth of debt is, but it's well into the billions, okay? And I don't know. It could be 50. And then if the Los Angeles area is in some respects, like one gentleman from Riverside who I've done work for told me, he says it's the new capital of Mexico.
Yeah.
Now, I love my Mexican brothers who are willing to go out and work hard, pay their taxes, and do the right thing, and to support what gives them this. Freedom, economic freedom, capitalism, America. But when you're here to suck the system dry, you're no friend of mine, and you will kill us if we allow you to do so. Whether or not you're white, Asian, or black, or whatever. If you're sucking the system dry, you're killing all of us who work every day. But California is lost. Los Angeles is such chaos in some respects that you would never hear the media tell you in downtown Los Angeles, there's 25,000 homeless, up to 30. This is what they have to do.
Yeah.
The gentleman who I was talking to, I did some work for the other day, he told me, he says, when they have to move them, they have to go down the street with a water truck that, like you would see that waters the road. But these water trucks have high-pressure nozzles, and they have to clean the sidewalk and flush it.
Yeah.
And you can imagine what we're talking about.
You know, the situation...
It's not something that anybody even wants to think about, but you see, this has to be done.
Absolutely.
And this kind of liberal, communist, socialist crap perpetuates this kind of hopelessness and living off this. These people don't even have the gumption to get up and go find a job or go get on welfare.
I agree. You know, we got some major problems in this country, and one of the big problems is that we are too easy to give instead of demanding work for the effort and then pay. That's the problem. Boy, when you answer a phone call, by the way, and there's a little pause, and instead of saying hello or good morning, you say, now, let me tell you something. I thought, boy, we got a hot button here.
Well... The thing of it is...
Hurry, because I got a weather forecast, Randy, real fast.
Washington and Oregon are headed the same place, and they're right next to us. We have got to stand strong in Idaho.
I totally agree, and I always thank you for your call, but don't scare me so bad the next time. You might just try, good morning.
Well, I didn't want to waste any time.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot. Oh, appreciate his call. Thank you. Calls are welcome. Give me a jingle. Hey, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids with the lovely Dr. Christine Pickup. Boy, does she know hearing, and does she know sound. I mean, I have had some very interesting conversations with her about sound and sound systems and the loss of hearing. She knows a lot, and her office is located right across from the Minidoka Hospital emergency room, and I urge you, if you're noticing a diminishment in hearing, please give her a call for a hearing screening today. She can and she will help. And oh, by the way, she'd also like to welcome Katie Bingham to Mount Harrison Audiology. Katie is the new patient care coordinator. Whoa, hey, things are going great for you. If you're having trouble hearing, call them for an appointment, 312-0957. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Today is going to be a wonderful day. Tomorrow, a little bit breezy, but for the rest of the weekend on into the weekend, very warm, I'm going to say. Here's your weather forecast for us up at the ranch. Sunny skies, high of 68 is what we're looking at for today. Tonight, clear skies, low of 48. For tomorrow, winds are going to be picking up out of the west, just about 10 miles an hour, so it's just going to be slightly breezy. High of 58, overnight low of 32. For Friday, sunny skies, high of 60 with an overnight low of 34. For Saturday, sunny and 64. That is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
And Gina, I appreciate it. Brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids over in the Rupert area, right behind the Minidoka Hospital emergency room. Call for an appointment today, 312-0957. Caller, one moment. I'll be right there. Give me 30 seconds. I want to remind everybody that John Anderson is running for Burley City Council again for a 4-year term. This man, his main goal is to keep Burley a great place to live and raise a family. And John, I've known John for a long time. Good old boy. Mayor of Burley for 8 years, and he wants your vote on November 7th. He would really appreciate your vote for a 4-year council seat. He wants to continue serving you. Don't forget John Anderson for the Burley City Council, paid for by John Anderson. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Zeb. Well, I can tell you, this country has been under attack for decades, and the goal of the elitists, of course, has been to create a one-world government, and in order to do that, they have to bring down the United States to third-world status. So what you're saying about the language situation, on my supplemental insurance, I believe there's about 15 different languages that are now available that they will give you information on.
Right.
But if you read the book Tragedy and Hope by, Bill Clinton's mentor, I'll tell you, Carroll Quigley, and he was from Georgetown University. Clinton even mentioned him when he accepted the Democratic nomination, but Quigley had access to the records of the elitists, the Council on Foreign Relations, and so he basically spilled the beans as to what the game plan was. And so you see the establishment people are continually pushing that goal of one world government.
Yep.
So you see Flake and Corker and Lindsey Graham and all of these people lining up to do what they can to bring this country down to third world status.
I agree.
The way they vote, or their inaction on Obamacare and et cetera. And so they know Corker and Flake know they're not going to get reelected, so they're bowing out. They're leaving the sinking ship before they get totally blasted at the polls.
I agree with you, Adrian. One of the noises that we can hear on the horizon, it's a flushing sound, and that flushing sound represents more draining of the swamp, if you will, with Tennessee's Bob Corker and Arizona's Jeff Flake. Goodbye, not to be seen again, I hope, in politics. I got to run, Adrian. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
The door hit you on the way out.
There you go. Thank you.
But it's true. This country is under attack in this language set. We should have ballots in English only, and we shouldn't be teaching Spanish in the schools. I mean, we accommodate everybody. It's costing us taxpayers millions of dollars, and billions, really. And I don't remember the latest, just the illegal aliens and all the services that we're giving to these people that are non-citizens.
Yeah.
And now there's a petition drive, as you well know, to increase Medicaid in the state. And, of course, guess who picks that up? You and I, the taxpayers, pick this up, or we add it to the national debt.
I got to run, Adrian. I got to run. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate it.
You bet. Have a great
All
day.
right, sir.
Keep up the good fight.
Thank you. No, I agree with him. Now, the one part I didn't agree with was, about languages. I agree that languages need to be taught in the school system, whether it's German, whether it's Spanish, whatever. I agree. If it's an elective, you want to learn how to speak that language, maybe you're going to be taking a job overseas. I agree with that. But here in this country, we need to make sure always primary, not secondary, not third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. English is the prime language. And when you read stories and hear stories about 45% of California residents do not speak English or speak it well enough to communicate, that's just one state I'm kind of telling you, about. But there's so many more instances, so many more. But English is our language, and I don't think we should kowtow to all the others. Calls are welcome, 436-2244. Hey, big fall tire sale. I mean, a big fall tire sale going on right now at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, where doing the right thing matters, and they do it every day. I'm telling you, I am so proud to have them as our major sponsor on this program, and I believe tomorrow Randy's going to be on the show with us at about 10:23. Yeah, 10:23 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So don't forget to stop in and see any one of the 7 locations for the big fall tire sale. All the tires you need for safe driving this fall and winter. You stop in and see them today. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Daniel on Pole Line and Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. And also the brake service, the front end alignments, the shocks and the struts and the batteries. I mean, they want you to arrive at your destination and turn around, come home safely. Absolutely. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, where doing the right thing matters. I'm going to say this real quick. I've only got about 2 minutes left. The left hates success. I'm convinced of that. They hate personal achievement. They go nuts over people that use the talent God gave them to do the most with their lives. The left really is a party of hate and do nothing but hold your hand out to the government. And I'm going to urge everybody listening to this program this morning, do all you can to achieve and succeed and be a role model for being successful. Lead others up. Don't lead people down into a pit of failure. The jealous, hateful, pathetic left, they like to come after us, but sooner or later they'll give up because you've attained success, and they can't stand that. We're going to take a little break and turn it back over to Wheels at our main studio. Coming up next hour, we've got interesting conversation with one of my favorite guests, Kyle Olson with EAGnews.org, talking about education and the Kaepernick syndrome. We're going to talk about that. And then also at 9:30, Dr. Miles Schneider talking about healthcare and how he would fix that problem. Later on this morning, Cody Wilson's going to be on the program along with Kai Mendelbaum. We got a great program. Don't miss a minute of it. Zeb at the Ranch, and we are going to be back in about 7 minutes. You out there, have a great day. Oh, here we go into the home stretch on a Wednesday, October 25th. Zeb at the Ranch, good morning to you. And, of course, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations with a big fall tire sale going on right now. Excuse me for the frog in my throat. And also a big thank you to the Western Way Service folks, always at your disposal. Call them, get on the route service at 734-6969. Once again, I want to remind you, check out all the great comfy comfortness, if you will, of being involved with Lennox Home Comfort Systems through our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric. And you can call them, find out more at 678-0459. You may get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox system. Check it out at Ramsey Heating and Electric today. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. Also, don't forget Fun Event. Fun Event, this has been going on for years over at Four Paws Bed and Bath at 370 West, 200 South of Rupert. Don't forget 438-4444. Our wonderful friends with Halloween Four Paws Annual Party and Costume Parade coming up this Saturday, October 28th from 1 to 3 p.m. Parade judging at 1 p.m. I mean, all the costumes for your dogs and free refreshments, pictures, the whole 9 yards. Going to be a lot of fun at Halloween at Four Paws Bed and Bath this coming weekend on Saturday. Right now, let's go to the phone line. And I've had this gentleman on my program in the past, and he's a straight shooter in more ways than one. What's the matter?
I just talked to your lovely wife, and I tried calling Cody on the number you had gave me, but he is not answering, and of course his voicemail box is full.
All I'm going to tell you is just keep calling. Keep calling. Deanne's going to do some work on this end, and you just keep calling that number, okay? Don't weaken.
All right, we'll do.
Attaboy, thank you. Well, there you go. Cody Wilson's not available evidently right now. Deanne's going to do some checking, and Wheels is going to keep on calling, and hopefully we can find him in the next couple of minutes. So I'm going to ask you to give me a call, and we'll talk about anything that we've talked about so far this morning. So the number to call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I'd love to talk to you about anything you want to converse about this morning. So pick a subject and give me a jingle. Thank you very much. By the way, I was going to mention the first hour that Arizona's Jeff Flake, living up to his last name, by the way, is not going to run again for the Senate. And, you know, they're making a big deal out of it that he's quitting. And I've heard some commentators say, well, he's quitting because he doesn't want to be associated with Donald Trump. Oh, please. Let's tell the real story. Jeff Flake is going to quit and try to get out halfway gracefully because he's getting his you-know-what kicked by the competitor that wants that seat, and he was way behind in the polling. But for him, doing what he did yesterday, standing up at the podium, the same as Bob Corker of Tennessee, and showing a no class. And I know the Flake family, quite frankly, in Arizona. And I should say that Jeff Flake just absolutely showed no class in denigrating the president, running him down, trying to create a bigger rift and split in the Republican Party. Bob Corker the same way. No class. Actually, they look like a bunch of horse apples on the road. I was absolutely appalled at their statements. I'm absolutely appalled that they're trying to pull other Republicans into kind of a hate group. More dissension, more not getting things done for the American public, and more not paying attention to the issues. What in the heck is the matter with the Republican Party? John McCain, same problem. Many others. I am absolutely fed up with a lot of the horses pulling the wrong way in the harness in the Republican Party. And it's hurting you, me, and everyone else. Your thoughts, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Please give me a call. Like to hear from you. I just caught the wire on my headsets between the armrest and the table. Woo, that changed my whole personality there for a minute. Give me a call, please, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Any word on Cody Wilson? How about it over there, Wheels?
Nope, I haven't had anything yet, sir, but I'm trying again right now.
Just do like the old commercial and let your fingers do the walking.
There you go.
All right, buddy, thanks. While I have a time, and a lot of people say, well, Zeb, you don't even have time for some of the public service announcements. Well, I do, I have, and I'm going to do it again. This public service announcement is really close to me because I know this family very well, and I wish them the absolute best. And it's the Hopwood Family Benefit that's going to take place with a dinner and auction on Saturday, November 4th at the Kimberly Middle School Commons. And they're going to have a tri-tip beef dinner at 6, live auction at 7. And they've just had some health problems that have really kind of knocked them backwards. And I know the family, I know Rodney, I know Carol, and you can go to any First Federal Bank to donate to the Carol and Rodney Hopwood benefit. They would certainly appreciate it. These are really nice people. That's coming up on Saturday, November 4th at the Kimberly Middle School Commons. You need that sheet over there, Deanne? There you go. Calls are welcome. Come on, this is called Bailing Out Zeb. Give me a call so we can talk about something. We thought we had our guest absolutely lead pipe ready to go, and I don't know what happened to him, so give us a call, please. Another event that's coming up on November 4th, we want to mention the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Idaho Chapter 13.5, is going to have their 6th annual dinner and raffle, and this is veterans helping veterans. And let's see, this is going to be dinner at 5 to 7, a raffle at 7, gun raffle, and this is going to be at the River Christian Fellowship Church at 4002 North, 3300 East Falls Avenue in Twin Falls. Any questions, call 670-1728. There you go. We've got that one covered. Now, let's see if I got anything else I need to mention here. Give this person a kiss on the forehead. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Not from you, but your lovely wife, that'd be okay.
Now, be nice. Okay.
Hey, I'd seen on the news last night that Idaho's unemployment is down 2.4%.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The lowest it's been in 30 years.
Yep.
And also I heard, too, that since President Trump was inaugurated, there's over 1 million people off of food stamps.
That's right. Let me go back to what you said a minute ago. Now, you're a small business owner, and I am too. Now, the business owners in America, they have kind of a double-edged sword right now to deal with. The unemployment numbers are really, really down, and that's good, but businesses are expanding, and they can't find qualified workers to go to work for them, and quite frankly, people that want to work. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Why would they want to go to work when they've had everything handed to them and they want to just keep getting everything handed to them without having to work for it?
Yeah, here's a poor employer, and I know from personal experience, you want to expand your business, you want to do things more, and you're always being hit up for, hey, would you donate to this, would you donate to that? And the business owner is out there trying to do the very best he can for himself, his family, and the employees, but it is increasingly difficult to find people that want to come in, go to work, earn a living, and quite frankly, that four-letter work, they're kind of finding it distasteful.
Exactly. You can't find anybody that is reliable.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there are a lot out there that are reliable. I'm not saying everybody's not. But of the pool you're pulling from, when you get down this low in unemployment, the pool you're pulling from are the ones that don't want to.
I'm tickled to death to see that the unemployment numbers are way, way down. But, of course, you got to put a little grain of salt out there. Even though the unemployment numbers are low, you got to remember some people just gave up and they're living off the government trough.
Exactly. This is true, too. But what was it Stuart Barney was saying, that the application for unemployment is that right now nationwide is a 30-year low.
Yeah, yeah.
And the businesses, now there's been 4 of them come out and give their yearly profits, and GM, I think Coca-Cola, I can't remember the other ones, has reported record profits because of the regulations that have been lifted.
Yeah.
And they are hiring, they are building. I mean, you think about it, you take an economy that has only been about 1.5 to 1.75% growth in the last 8 years. Now, last quarter we had 3%. Now you take and get that up to 4 or 5%. With this tax cut, we're going to grow our way out of our debt.
But there again, Doug, there's a double-edged sword. It's great to say, wow, we're growing. Like I had the small businessman on the program yesterday, as a matter of fact. It's great to say that things are looking up and the economy's going to get rosy, but you have to go back, Doug, and you have to look at our society of the gimmies. I don't want to work for it. I want it handed to me, and it's increasingly difficult for businesses, I don't care what kind of a business you run, to solicit and get quality people. I know various companies right now, and I've talked to these people, that they can't find qualified people, most of which can't even pass a drug test.
That's the deal right there. And I feel, yes, we will help you out, but if you cannot pass a drug test, you should not get welfare.
I totally agree. I have said on this program, and you know this is true, that there needs to be a reevaluation on a case-by-case basis, whether it's city, whether it's county, whether it's state. I don't care who runs it. I don't care how it's operated. I think that study would be a lot more efficient cost-wise than letting these people on the dole keep taking our money. And you look at the file, you find out what they are, who they are, what they've done, what they haven't done, and that's it. You give them 30 days, and they're on their own, baby.
Yep, and if they get busted protesting or rioting or destroying other people's property, they should be kicked off for life.
Why does the milk of human kindness in the refrigerator stay fresh by the liberal left when they say, oh, well, you can't take those poor people off welfare? Listen, we've got leeches on the program that are taking money away from the people that really deserve it.
Well, when you get second and third and fourth generations on it, that's where the big problem is right there.
Yeah, and like I said a moment ago, and I got another call I want to get in here, but I just absolutely feel a great sympathy and empathy for our employers because, man, they want to do things. They want to help the economy grow. They want to help the community grow. They want to help the state grow. They want to help the nation be better, but they can't find qualified workers.
Exactly. Supply and demand, and supply and demand will also regulate wages.
I agree. Doug, always good to have you. Thanks for bailing me out, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Hey, God bless.
All right, sir. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
So yesterday I was out talking to one of my contractor friends, and one of his employees was a friend of my son's, and it still is. And this kid has been on, when he was a young boy, he was put on Ritalin because the teachers didn't want to deal with it. And, you know, I would have never let my children be put on Ritalin because if you understand what it is, it's a terrible, terrible drug. And these kids are put on it, and it has the calming effect on them. But what it does to them, as far as damaging them, nobody really knows. And this poor kid, he's a good kid, but you see, he can't seem to stay focused on a job. And then I have another employee that used to live here in town. I taught him, you know, a trade. And he was good. And then he decided, and then he was stolen by one of my other contractors, which is fine. That's the way it is. Then he moved to Oregon, where you got the communist state of Oregon, where welfare runs rampant, and so does heroin and meth. And then he got it wrapped up in drugs, and we hadn't heard from him forever. Somebody decided to go online and find out if he was in prison. And that's exactly where he is. And he was a good, smart, hard-working kid. I'd hire him back in a minute, but you see, now he's damaged.
Yeah.
He's taking the drugs, whether or not it's meth or heroin. Sometimes it's both. And these kids they're no longer, their brains are damaged, their nervous systems are damaged.
Randy, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. You're an employer, and you're a contractor, and you have a lot of people working for you. How do you go about restoring in this country? And give me a short answer on this, because I got a commercial break in about 2 minutes. But how do you go about restoring a work ethic to now the generation coming into the workforce?
Well, I tell you what, Zeb, it's the issue that comes up all the time with my other contractor friends. And I don't have a lot of employees. I'm not a big contractor, but some of these other guys are. And turnover is a big problem. And finding somebody that is willing to work or capable of working, or if they're not damaged, able to work. Can you imagine the load on our society with all of these damaged people from, well, whether or not it was willfully taking drugs or prescription drugs? I tell you what, Zeb, you can't have an economy unless you got people, you know, running the show like business people.
That's right.
Do. So I do not know, Zeb. It's the crisis of our time, and we've got to be able to get this work done.
Absolutely. Randy, I really appreciate your call and some of the concepts and points, because right now, I don't care if you're in the construction business, I don't care if you run a restaurant, I don't care if you got a tire store or what you're doing, it's becoming increasingly hard to find people that want to work, to achieve, to succeed. And that's my question. I guess I'll ask anybody. How do we restore the work ethic that you and I, my parents, your parents, and grandparents lived up through in America, and it's gone today? I don't think it's here.
It's a scary thought.
God bless you, man. Thanks for your call.
You bet.
Thank you. How do you restore that? And I honestly, I'll argue with anybody that the work ethic of, I can work hard, I can really do this, I can move up the ladder, I can achieve, I can set career goals. What happened to that? And basically, 2 words, the work ethic. Where is it? It's kind of like the old cowboy statement, ride for the brand. Ride for the brand. Those 4 words, ride for the brand, really meant a lot because the cowboy put forth his best effort for his employer. His employer was supreme to that person, and he rode for the brand. We don't see that anymore. Well, not in its entirety, but the work ethic coming out of the schools, high school, to college, after college, where is it? Somebody let me know. Let's see. Oh, Bennett Boys Auction, I've got to tell you all about my old buddy Joe. He stopped here yesterday, as a matter of fact, and gave us the handbills on this great big sale coming up this weekend, the Colin Maxey Auction. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Saturday, this coming Saturday, October 28th, located over in Jerome at 400 South. Look for the signs, can't miss it. Going to be a good one put on by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. They're going to have swathers, tractors, farm equipment, livestock items, sporting goods, saddles, antique items, lawn and garden items. Oh, yeah. Sale's going to start at 11 o'clock, put on by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys sell them all, and they do a great job for you. That's the Colin Maxey Auction coming up this weekend on Saturday over in Jerome starting at 11 o'clock. For more information, call Joe at 539-0111. Calls are welcome. Give me a call quickly at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I've been blessed in my family, and I really mean this. My son Jake, I'm very happy with his achievements. Oh, yeah, somebody out there in the audience is going to go, there he goes, bragging on his kids again. Yep, I am. So what? And Toby, same thing. They had their eyes set and their hearts set on what they wanted to accomplish, and they did. And I respect that. What happened to that? What happened to using, like I've been talking about all morning, all the gifts and the talents that people have been given, and just, man, life is so short. I am going to go out and I'm going to do this and I'm going to create that and I'm going to earn that. What's wrong with that? That's what life's all about. You want to just sit there like a wart and not do anything? That's a wasted life. Hopefully, and I mean this because I'm getting a little gun-shy with people that don't show up on time on my program. After we have talked to them, verified the time, and everything else, hopefully this next half hour, we're going to have Chaim Mendelbaum on the air from, he's a counsel for the Energy and Environmental Institute, and talking about the EPA. There's quite a subject. And during the interlude here at about half past the hour, I'm going to find out what happened to Cody Wilson and see if we can get him scheduled for another day or time, perhaps even tomorrow. We'll see if he's available. One of the things I wanted to mention quickly, and I was not kidding when I said this earlier when Kyle Olson was on the air, this is a true story. A University of Illinois math professor. This shows you the lunacy that's going on in our world right now. A University of Illinois math professor believes that algebra and geometry perpetuate white privilege because Greek terms give Caucasians unearned credit for the subject. She believes that evaluations for math proficiency perpetuates discrimination against minority students if they do worse than their white counterparts. And this lady's name is Gutierrez, and she said that she argues that subjects like algebra and geometry, which relate to arithmetic, also perpetuate racism and white privilege in the classroom. Oh, boy. And this is a university professor. Ladies and gentlemen, there's trouble in River City. And it's not because the trombone player can't play a note. It's because of the idiotic left in our country. Good heavens. We're going to take a break, send it back over to Wheels. We'll be back here in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Thank you very much and welcome back. We'll have our guest with us in just a moment. Stand by, and we also want to remind you about Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. Really, really nice people serving people. 924 Christian Way in Rupert. The number to call, 436-3200. And they're really able to provide more one-on-one care. Personalized service for their residents. And they urge you to take a tour of the facility, find out more about them, give them a call, whatever you need to know, 436-3200. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. And by the way, they welcome the trick-or-treaters on Halloween to come on over, and the residents would really be excited to see your children on trick-or-treat night. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center in Rupert. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and the way my luck has been with my guest this morning, I'm going to just hopefully say here is a gentleman that's been on my program before, counsel for the Energy and Environmental Legal Institute, and before I even start, I'm going to apologize if I say his first name wrong, because I know he corrected me one time, and I think I remember it. Chaim Mendelbaum, is that correct?
Yes, it is. Thanks for having me back.
You know what? You just made my whole day, because I was afraid if I mispronounced your name, you'd hang up on me or something.
That would never happen.
Okay. Hey, listen, this makes me feel good that the EPA is starting to get their just desserts, and they're kind of getting a kick in the backside for the way they've treated people. Tell us what's going on with the EPA.
Well, one of the big things that's recently happened with EPA is that Administrator Pruitt decided to end a practice that the Obama administration had really been using, which is called sue and settle. And this was something where environmental groups would sue the agency, and then the agency would immediately settle with the environmental groups, give them what they wanted, get the court to agree to it, and then turn around and tell everybody, well, we have to do this because the court told us we have to.
Okay, now, let me ask you, Chaim, right there. I have been told by various groups that the environmental groups, when they were suing like this, actually they were using our own taxpayer money, and they were in a win-win situation. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. In addition to getting the policies they want, they'd get the agency to agree to pay them all of their costs and attorney's fees as part of the settlement. So not only were they getting to implement policy through a back door, but they were getting to do it for free.
Okay, so when, how, and where, and why was all this allowed to come into place, and how did they get so doggone much power?
So various laws put various deadlines on the EPA. And a lot of times the EPA can't meet those deadlines because for whatever reason. So what the environmentalists figured out was, if we sue the EPA for not meeting the deadlines, let's say because they know there's going to be opposition, instead the EPA can come to the table and settle with us quietly where no one will see what's happening. And so they had a friendly EPA. They had basically their own people running the EPA, their own people embedded into the EPA. And so they would come together in a private conference room, and they'd say, you guys sued us. We want to settle. These are the terms we'll give you, and what we'll give you is anything you want, including the payment for, your costs. And then we'll take it to the court and say, this is what we have to do to make the lawsuit go away. The court will say, okay, that's our order. And then the EPA can turn around and say, look, we know there's the whole process, and we know there's lots of opposition, but we can ignore all that because we have a court order telling us to do it.
This whole thing...
It was an incredibly unfair practice that allowed them to get around the restrictions on their actions by going behind the backs of the American people.
Absolutely. This whole thing sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong with my analogy, but it sounds like a merry-go-round of our money, my money, your money, everybody's money, and the EPA can't lose. They're playing on our money. They're seeing the movie at no charge to them. Is that right?
Exactly. Everyone was playing on our money, the environmental groups and the EPA, because both of them at the time wanted the same thing. They wanted more and more regulation, no matter how bad it was for our economy.
Why didn't some other administration in the past, be it the Bushes, be it Clinton, be it Obama, why didn't they, for the sake of the American people and for the sake of the waste of money, why didn't they draw attention to this thing and really stand up and let the EPA have notice this is not right?
Well, it hadn't been a major problem prior to the Obama administration. Going all the way back to the Clinton and Bush administrations, there were settlements, but they happened usually much more rarely. It was really the Obama administration, when the Obama administrators embedded the green activists directly into the EPA, that you were dealing with the fact that the green group people were on both sides of the table now, because they hired directly out of these same organizations that were suing them to staff the Obama EPA. So now you had people on both sides of the table. But the people on the EPA side still had all sorts of laws and rules to follow. They couldn't just put their policies into place. They had to go through the Administrative Procedures Act, and they had to let, people who were interested comment and raise objections. And so it wasn't as easy as they would have liked to just put the rules in place.
How?
They needed a way around it, and sue and settle was one of the big ones.
Yeah.
It exploded during the Obama administration because they were looking for a way to get around the various rules designed to make the rulemaking process more transparent and more open.
If this wouldn't have happened and Trump would not have been elected president and we wouldn't have people like Scott Pruitt as the head right now, looking backwards over your shoulder, how bad could this thing have gotten with the EPA?
Oh, I think it would continue to be a major problem. Every time the environmentalists wanted some sort of regulation that they didn't think they could get normally, they could make use of this process. And it's very likely that a different administration with a different administrator, someone who was also drawn out of the ranks of, the Sierra Club or one of those organizations, would just continue this practice and continue to allow it. And then we would be in basically the same position as we were for the previous 8 years, where we would get stealth regulation.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Keim. What does this new ruling, what does it do to groups and organizations like the Sierra Club and others? What does it do to change their modus operandi?
Well, it's going to make it a lot harder for them because they can't count on a quick settlement, which means they're going to have to put more of their resources into filing a lawsuit, and they're going to have to put their resources into fighting the lawsuit. And if the agency intends to fight it and not just make a quick settlement, that's going to deter them from filing in the first place. It's also going to give the agency a better opportunity to explain why it isn't issuing the rule or why what the groups are asking for is unreasonable. And finally, it's going to give other groups, other organizations, other individuals a chance to see what is being discussed, if any settlement ever is going to be reached, and to comment on it.
Okay.
So instead of it being done in secret, it'll be a much more transparent and open process.
Is there an opportunity, as far as from what you see as a counsel for the Energy and Environmental Legal Institute? Caller, don't go away. I'll be right with you. I want to ask this quick question. Is there a possibility there may be some retroactive lawsuits put in, like by the coal company and others, because of the damage that was done during the Obama administration?
So I don't think the coal companies want to go back and refight the battles of the last 8 years. I think they want to look forward. So it's certainly possible, but I wouldn't expect to see the coal companies try to get back their money. In terms of undoing the damage, that's what organizations like mine are working on, to roll back regulations. And you've seen some success with that, such as the EPA repealing the Clean Power Rule. I mean, that's the sort of damage we need to undo. Burdensome regulations that don't help the environment but just hurt the economy.
Okay.
So I think the big fight is going forward how to deregulate things, how to make it so that is only the amount of regulation we really need and not a burdensome amount.
Absolutely. All right, we have a caller with a question for you. Caller, go ahead, please. You're on the air. Thank you for your patience.
Well, we talk about the deep state, and we talk, and I think maybe the environmental area of the deep state is the deepest there is. I mean, these people have been in there since, Reagan evacuated them, but since then they've come out and they're back in play. And so the thing of it is they are there, and I don't know how deep it is, but there's so many, and the entangled web they have created to illegally get what they want, to control the people and damage the economy. And now that if they lose this sue and settle, which I've known about, now they will appeal to their donors, and they will get, whether or not they tell them the truth or not, the people that donate to this will believe anything, and they will get more money from their donors because they will make it sound like, they're losing ground. I'll hang up.
Respond to the caller, if you would, Keim, please.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right. I mean, a lot of these green activist groups are incredibly well-funded, a lot of them by, billionaires like Tom Steyer, who are prepared to throw money at their causes. And it's certainly a problem for those of us who are interested in maintaining a fair regulatory process and not one that's unnecessarily burdensome. I mean, these groups have essentially unlimited piggy banks. But despite that, they continuously lose because they continuously put forward policies that are bad for the country, bad for the economy, bad for the American people. And so what we have to focus on is how most effectively to fight back, even though we acknowledge that a lot of times they, despite all their claims about, industry pours all this money, the truth is they're the ones who have almost unlimited money.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and I'm certainly not trying to be the foreteller of doom and gloom, but, Keim, you must be a little worried as far as looking ahead to 2020. What happens if Trump's not reelected? What happens if we get a Democrat back in there? What happens to the powers of the EPA? Are they just going to grow like a cancer, or what's going to happen?
Well, I certainly think that the change in administration, the change in EPA leadership could foretell a return to the Obama era. And that's why I'm very supportive of Administrator Pruitt's plan to pare down the EPA, the reductions in budget, the reductions in staff, the reductions in its focus, so that it focuses more on what really matters, clean water and clean air, and less on just imposing unnecessary regulation. Because those are the sort of changes that it's much harder to reverse. And we need, during this period, for Administrator Pruitt to put in place permanent changes at the EPA so that they can't just be undone with a pen.
When I think about families like Andy Johnson over at Fort Bridger, Wyoming, doing something as innocuous as building a farm pond and getting the approval from the state of Wyoming, and then the EPA coming in and saying they're going to fine him like $37,000 a day, and it's almost like a Gestapo or mafia approach. The EPA is going to come in and destroy people's lives and businesses. It's about high time that they got pushed back on the backside of their pockets.
It absolutely is. I mean, the regulations that they want would give them essentially unlimited oversight. I mean, another regulation that Administrator Pruitt is very wisely reversing, the Waters of the United States rule, was essentially going to give EPA oversight over every piece of water in the country, even if it was as small as a tiny little pond that connected to nothing. And then anytime they were unhappy with you, they could say you were in violation of these rules, and they could fine you, or they could restrict you from building, or they could restrict you from making changes to your own property. And these are the sort of regulations we need to prevent, because they do nothing to help the environment. The only thing they do is to empower bureaucrats.
Who are these people, that would go around and look at somebody's apple orchard, and there's a little pond of water there that the dad took a shovel and dug a little hole and put Johnny's boat in it so he could float the boat, and then they come after him for an illegal pond? Or somebody's got a pond out in their pasture, and my goodness, they try to get the water out of there, and they're being accused of diverting the waters of the United States. This is insanity.
It is. And it's ridiculous regulation that has no value, but gives bureaucrats more and more power over our lives.
What do you do on behalf of the Energy and Environmental Legal Institute? I mean, tell us your involvement in fighting these people. I mean, what do you do? What's a day like in the life of Kai Mendelbaum?
Well, what we do is a lot of public education and public outreach, as well as lawsuits. We file suits in order to get documents from the agencies so we can help explain to the American people what exactly the real intentions behind these rules are. Because, they put forth one set of public statements where they try to say, oh, these rules are so great, they'll do all these benefits. And we try to get at the truth, which is that they know these rules will have very little benefit. They know how small the effect on the environment these rules are going to have, and they know just how large an effect on people's lives these rules are going to have. So that's one of our principal focuses, filing lawsuits to get documents and then going out and publicly explaining what these documents really mean.
Absolutely. Chaim, I want to say thank you for being on the program. You've been here in the past. We certainly hope you'll come back in the future. Counsel for the Energy and Environmental Legal Institute, Chaim Mendelbaum, thank you, sir, and have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to coming back anytime.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Also.
Thank you very, very much. It just tickles me, and I mean this when I say this, that the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is getting slapped in the face. No, actually, they're getting a punch to the jaw that they've needed for a long, long time. They've hurt people. They've hurt a lot of people financially. They've destroyed a lot of businesses. They've destroyed a lot of farming. They've destroyed the coal industry. They've destroyed a lot of people and progress. And the EPA needed this punch to the jaw, and I hope it continues. They are not the mafia or the mob that they thought they were, and they are losing a lot of power. Right, oh my goodness, we've got to get a weather forecast on here. My goodness sakes, brought to you by Scarrows Meats, and then I'd like to have some more calls for the remainder of this hour. Scarrows Meats with Don Scarrow and the crew over at 331 North Road, Jerome. My goodness sakes, the number to call, 324-7657, or you can go to their website and find out all about their retail meat department, scarrowsmeats.com. They are really, really getting all the meats you want over there, bratwurst and the salamis and the jerkies and the sausage and the bacon. Oh my goodness, absolutely delicious. Scarrows Meats. Right now, let's take the weather with Gina.
Today is going to be a wonderful day. Tomorrow, a little bit breezy, but for the rest of the weekend on into the weekend, very warm, I'm going to say. Here's your weather forecast for us up at the ranch. Sunny skies, high of 68 is what we're looking at for today. Tonight, clear skies, low of 48. For tomorrow, winds are going to be picking up out of the west, just about 10 miles an hour, so it's just going to be slightly breezy. High of 58, overnight low of 32. For Friday, sunny skies, high of 60 with an overnight low of 34. For Saturday, sunny and 64. That is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Oh, thank you, Gina. Always a great job. And brought to you by Don Scarrow and the crew at Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. We've had Don on the program many times. Here's that number again, 324-7657, or you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. Scarrows Meats, changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. Okay, your turn. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And thank you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, Zeb. How come we actually need a federal EPA? Doesn't that take rights away from the states? Aren't the states the ones supposed to be handling all of this?
You know, and you're asking a question that a lot of people like myself had asked, why did we ever let the government and especially the Environmental Protection Agency get to be kind of the shotgun rider on a stagecoach, and they control everything about us? I agree with you. I'd like to see, honestly, a complete revamping and a complete tearing apart of the Environmental Agency and many other agencies, and restore and bestow the states and us, the people, a lot more power. I'm not happy with some of these silly, frivolous wastes of our money and the Gestapo attitude that they try to put on us.
and then our two senators, the Flake and the other fella, if they're so worried about what the president is doing, why aren't they standing up and fighting? Why are they just going to quit and go do something else?
Well, let me ask you this, though. Really, let me ask you this. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. I just want you to answer this question. Since Donald Trump took office, yes, he is kind of rough around the edges. Yes, he is brazen. Yes, he tweets a lot, his feelings and his thoughts, and it causes problems. But what he is doing for us, the American citizens, and our country, do you think he's doing a good job, or do you think he's doing a bad job?
He's doing just what we voted him in for.
Amen.
And if these senators can't stand up and be men instead of running around behind everybody else, they don't need to be in there in the first place.
You and I are on the same page, sir, and I'm tickled to death to see that Jeff Flake is not going to rerun himself for the Senate. I'm glad to see that he's going out to pasture. I just wished he could have left with a little bit more class.
Why would you do it this far away from the end of your deal?
Yeah.
Because you have no backbone, and you're trying to make everybody think they got to stand up for you.
I agree. You know, it's refreshing to hear you call and give your opinion because I think you're spot on. Thank you very, very much.
Have a good one, Zach.
You bet, sir. Thank you. You know, that man speaks his mind, and I appreciate and I respect it because that's the truth. Not Reed, that's his cousin, but Jeff Flake and Bob Corker. How disgusting. To think that they go on the national news and just tear apart the Republican Party, try to be more divisive in the Republican Party, which has turned into a party of wimps anyway. It's absolutely pathetic. Caller, good morning. Quickly, you're on the air.
Flake and Corker, they're going to get, primaried, and they're not going to win. And the only thing they really care about is them, their egos. And because they know they're going to lose, they've got to make it look like they're doing something noble, and they're resigning because of something else. And they're fooling nobody. Who would believe these people? Flake and Corker need to go jump into the Grand Canyon because they ain't worth you-know-what.
Well, let me ask you this.
As far as the environmentalists, they've been so entrenched in our lives since 1970, whatever it was, Clean Water Act.
Yeah.
And so they've used this thing, whether or not it was legal or illegal, they have used it, beat us over the head with it. They have destroyed people's lives, and they couldn't have cared less. But you see, when they created ethanol, the gutless Republicans went along with it because they knew that they thought it was good for the farmers, but it turns out it's not. And then they knew that the Democrats would do it because it looks environmentally responsible.
I have no argument with what you said. I've been against ethanol ever since the inception, and what it's done to the small engines, whether it's snow machines, whether it's lawnmowers, whatever, I think it's absolutely a crime. Randy, I'm out of time, but I want to tell you how much I appreciate your calling back. One quick note, though, real fast. Give me a short answer on this. It was intimated that maybe Jeff Flake was going to throw his hat in for the presidency, and I hope that if he does that, he is so humiliated with the lack of public response in his corner that he'll just run off and hide on the family ranch down in Arizona.
He couldn't get elected to anything in Arizona. He's going to be cooked. And McCain will probably not run for re-election either for fear he'll get primary too.
I hope so.
Their time is running out. People are no longer fooled. People that voted for Trump are still in his camp. And that's what's so frustrating to the antagonists, is because they can't seem to gain any ground. In fact, to be honest, they're losing ground.
I agree.
And his group.
I agree with you. Got to run, Randy. See you tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, don't forget the big fall tire sale going on at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations. Great big fall tire sale at your Les Schwab Tire Centers. We're doing the right thing matters. Absolutely. Hey, listen, they've got all the auto tires. Yep, for your cars, like the Eclipse, starting at just $63.99. Premium traction, superior ride quality. They've got all the pickup and SUV tires, like the Wild Country Trail 4SX. Woo! All-terrain tread, improved tire life. The best of tires for your driving your vehicle. Stop in and see them today. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. The best by far. Your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers, where doing the right thing matters. We're going to be back tomorrow morning at 8:06. Don't forget, it's Thursday tomorrow. All kinds of things. Chamber of Commerce report, Rita Ramsey, all kinds of goodies. Don't you forget, tomorrow morning, 8:06 till 11. Zeb at the Ranch, right here on KBAR 1230 AM, streaming live on the internet, zebbell.com, where we always say, oh boy, don't forget this. The way things were are the way things ought to be. See you tomorrow morning.